All right. Good morning again. This is Mark, Director of Coffee at Savor Brands, coming to you from the U.S. Coffee Roasting Championship stage. I'm very honored and privileged to have a very special guest to help me out cover the roasting competition this weekend, Felix Tersbacher, 2022 World Coffee Roasting Champion from Austria. Felix, how's it going?
Yeah, I had a great coffee back there in the Roasters Village, and looking forward to see what's going on here.
Yeah. Is this your first time at Coffee Expo in the United States?
Yeah, it's my first time in the United States.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, hope you have a good time, and we really appreciate you being here and sharing your knowledge and expertise of what the roasters are going through.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, awesome. So today we are doing the last two competitors are actually in that back room right there. We're not allowed back there, but they're green grading. Yesterday and today were the green grading portion of the competition. Felix, could you talk about what green grading is about?
Green grading shows the roaster skills about the knowledge of green coffee. So this is necessary. It's maybe not everyday work in the roastery, but you have to see if there is a defect in the coffee. So some of them are maybe Q graders, so they already had a training for that. But you get an amount of coffee, I think 350 grams. It's clean, then it's spiked with defects. There are different defect sorts, like for instance, slightly insect eaten or well eaten, and black beans, or like different types of sour beans. So, and you have to recognize it and sort it out. So, and therefore you can get points, or
Absolutely.
maybe it's all about not losing points.
Yeah.
So yeah, this shows your skill for green coffee.
Yeah, and this part of the competition, while it's very private, roasters need their quiet space. They need to be able to analyze the samples. I believe they have half an hour, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. And it's quite challenging because you have a really big amount of coffee for it. 350 grams sounds not much, but it's really like this big. And you get sweating, so you really kind of nervous and really want to see everything. So you kind of have to turn almost everything single bean, so to see it, if there is a slightly insect or not. So it's kind of really your technique. Yeah, you better be trained for that.
Yeah, and this portion of the competition, it is scored. They need to sort it out and provide it in a separate bag, and they deliver it to the judges, and the judges take a look and analyze the samples. Right over here, for about another hour and a half or so, competitors are cupping their coffees with their coaches. So, Felix, could you talk about what's happening here?
Yeah, in the open cupping, you are allowed to bring your coach, so one coach, and this is very necessary because this is where you can cup your sample roast. So you get a sample of coffee that's provided for the production roast for the next day. So this is where you can get out the flavors for the flavor description for the roast plan you have to submit. So, and you can have your coach with you to talk about the flavors and about how you're going to roast the coffee. So, coach is necessary because it helps you kind of settle and get rid of the nervous part, and that's maybe one of the most important parts.
Yeah, I mean the roasting competition, technically they say it's one round because tomorrow they'll be doing their production roast, but clearly there's a lot of things that roasters do that everything feeds into each other so that they can do their very best, correct?
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. So we're going to head over to the roasting stage, and that's where the competitors have time slots, and they'll be practicing on the production roast. So Felix, have you had some experience on this particular machine?
Yes, we had it as a sample roasting machine in Milan. It's quite different because if you're roasting on a drum roaster, this is a totally different machine. So I think competitors were able to practice on this machine. And this is now practice roast. You get a tummy coffee for that. So it's not the coffee you will have on the production roast tomorrow. And the roasters are now trying to see what the roast curve is about, how the machine reacts for your roast style. So they will have maybe a bigger amount of coffee now than in sample roasting. So everything is different, and
And in this competition, what you mentioned earlier, sample roasting on this, but you did a production roasting on a Gießen, on a drum roaster in Milan. They're doing their sample and production roasting on the same machine. Could you talk about any benefits or challenges from that?
The challenge is if you are not roasting on a machine like that, so it's different because you don't have a drum that's moving and heat is coming from downstairs. So it's quite, you have two heating elements in this machine, so it's kind of a good thing. You have very accurate and very comfortable way of adjusting over the display, so you have a nice bright window to see the color of the coffee. You have a dryer, so that's always all the same. But the heating elements are different to what you're used to. So this is maybe the challenge to see the difference between batch sizes and how the machine reacts on your adjustments.
Yeah, and these machines, I believe, have a capacity of 800 or 850 grams. So for tomorrow, the roasters, they'll be giving their allotment of coffee, but they'll be submitting, I believe, 1 pound roasted for the judges to score and evaluate. And as well as, before they even touch the roaster, they need to submit a roast plan. Could you kind of talk about the roast plan?
The roast plan has to be submitted before production day, so you can write there, I'm going to roast the coffee like this, drop in temperature, you have to give the drop out temperature, you have to say what is weight loss, you have to say what is the color reading, so, and the flavor description. So you have to say acidity, body sweetness, and the flavor profile. So you have to describe the coffee, and you have to nail it.
Very technical. You can't really get lucky and win this competition. This really shows the roaster's skill, ability to adapt, like you said, on a new machine.
You can't have the best coffee by accident.
Exactly.
You have to get it in advance.
Yeah. And right now on stage, looks like we have Luke Jung from Luce Coffee Roasters out of Houston, Texas. And then in the middle, it's Tony Auger from Goshen Coffee Roasters out of Edwardsville, Illinois. And at the very end is, he's always competing, Steve Cuevas out of Black Oak Coffee Roasters from California. So yeah, there's going to be a few more roasters coming in today to do their production roast practice. A lot happening here at the US Coffee Championships besides roasting. So stay tuned next time when we go live. Thanks everybody. That was good.